The two best female tennis players in the world have gone head-to-head 3 times in the first 3 months of 2026 alone. Under the bright lights and on the biggest of stages, Aryna Sabalenka and Elena Rybakina have caused fans to hold their breath. 2 of these brutal power battles were in the finals, one in a Grand Slam decider, and each time the momentum swung like a pendulum. But this rivalry is far from over even this year. Where did it all begin? It all kicked off on January 31st at the Australian Open final in Melbourne. Sabalenka walked in as the clear world number 1 and heavy favorite. Rybakina, seeded 3rd, had other plans. The first set went to the Kazakh star 6-4. Sabalenka roared back to take the second 6-4. In the decider, she raced up to a 3-love lead. The crowd sensed a straight sets comeback. Then Rybakina flipped the script. She held her nerve, broke back, and suddenly it was 3-all. Every rally stretched longer than the last. Rybakina kept her cool while Sabalenka's powerful topspin forehand started missing by inches. In the end, Rybakina closed it out 6-4 in the 3rd set. She lifted her first Australian Open trophy. Sabalenka walked off the court gutted. But how would the Belarusian superstar respond when they met again? They didn't have to wait that long. Less than 6 weeks later, the two powerhouses clashed in the PNB Paribas Open final at Indian Wells. Similar hard courts, high altitude, and another championship match. Rybakina had momentum on her side and came out firing. She took the opening set 6-3 with her flat, laser-like winners. Sabalenka looked shaky early on. But then the world number 1 found her rhythm. She stormed the second set 6-3, forcing a decider. The 3rd set turned into an all-out war. They traded huge serves and baseline bombs for what felt like forever. Rybakina even held a championship point, but Sabalenka saved it with a thunderous forehand winner down the line. The tiebreak went to 7-6. Sabalenka finally sealed it on her second match point. She dropped to her knees in celebration. First Indian Wells title in the books. Revenge served ice cold. The score read 3-6, 6-3, 7-6, 6. Now the head-to-head felt even again, but the question hung in the air. Could Rybakina hit back immediately? The answer came in Miami just 2 weeks later. This time it was the Miami Open semifinals. Sabalenka came out firing on all cylinders. She broke early and never looked back. Rybakina fought, but her returns could not keep up with Sabalenka's pace. The match ended in straight sets, 6-4, 6-3. Sabalenka punched her ticket to the final with a dominant display. She had now won the last 2 meetings after that painful Australian Open loss. The rivalry had flipped once more. 3 meetings in 2026, 2 wins for Sabalenka, 1 for Rybakina. But this 2026 explosion didn't come out of nowhere. Their rivalry kicked off way back in 2019 at the Wuhan Open quarterfinals. It was the very first time these two power hitters met. Sabalenka took the opening set 6-3 with her heavy topspin. Rybakina fought back hard to grab the second set 6-1. But in the decider, Sabalenka powered through 6-1. She won the match and moved on. But that early battle showed exactly what fans would see for years. Fast forward to 2021 where they clashed twice in big tournaments. First came the Abu Dhabi quarterfinals on hard courts. Sabalenka won the first set 6-4. Rybakina leveled it 6-4 in the second. The third set stayed tight until Sabalenka pulled away 6-3. Later that summer at Wimbledon, they met in the 4th round on the grass. Sabalenka took the opener 6-3. Rybakina answered with a 6-4 second set. In the decider, Sabalenka's aggressive baseline game proved too much. She closed it out 6-3. 2 straight wins for the Belarusian, both in 3 sets. Then 2023 arrived, and the rivalry exploded into the spotlight. They met in the Australian Open final. This was the first Grand Slam title match between them. Rybakina stormed ahead and took the first set 6-4 with her flat, penetrating shots. Sabalenka refused to fold. She roared back to win the second set 6-3. The decider was pure tension. Sabalenka broke early and held on for a 6-4 victory. It was her first major title. The crowd went wild as she celebrated on Rod Laver Arena. Just 2 months later, they faced off again in the Indian Wells final. This time, Rybakina got her revenge. The match was a high-quality power battle. Rybakina edged the first set in a marathon tiebreak 7-6, 11. Sabalenka fought hard, but could not break the Kazakh's rhythm. Rybakina took the second set 6-4 to lift the trophy. That win showed how dangerous her serve could be on a big stage. 2024 brought even more drama. In the Brisbane final on hard courts, Rybakina delivered one of her most dominant performances ever. She blasted Sabalenka off the court 6-love, 6-3. But later in 2024 at the Madrid Open semifinals, Sabalenka turned the tables in thrilling fashion. Rybakina took the first set 6-1 and looked unstoppable. But Sabalenka dug deep. She saved the second set 7-5 and then survived a nail-biting third set tiebreaker 7-6-5. It was a classic comeback that reminded everyone how tough Sabalenka is when she finds her range. By late 2025, the rivalry was at full boil again. They met in the WTA Finals in Riyadh. Rybakina once more proved she could rise to the biggest occasions. She won the first set 6-3 and then took the second set in a one-sided tiebreak 7-6-0. Sabalenka had her moments, but Rybakina's serve and calm under pressure carried the day. What makes their clashes so addictive is how different they are away from the baseline. Sabalenka plays with raw emotion, just like her nickname, the Tiger. She pumps her fist and roars after big points, and wears her heart on her sleeve. Her game is built on heavy topspin, aggressive court positioning, and that signature double-fisted backhand that can dictate from anywhere. She's held the world #1 ranking for long stretches and already owns multiple major titles. Her serve has improved massively, and her fitness lets her stay in those marathon rallies longer than almost anyone. Rybakina brings a completely different vibe. She stays ice cool no matter what the score says. Her power comes from flat, penetrating shots and one of the biggest serves in the women's game. That serve often sets up easy putaways and keeps opponents guessing. She broke through with her Wimbledon title in 2022 and has stayed a constant top 5 threat ever since. Her movement is smooth and efficient. She rarely shows frustration. Instead, she just lines up the next winner. That calm demeanor under pressure has won her plenty of tight matches against Sabalenka in the past. Just like their playing style, Sabalenka and Rybakina have contrasting personalities. For the Belarusian, her big personality lights up every press conference and every social media post. But Rybakina is more private and collected. Fans love the sharp contrast in styles and personalities. When their names appear in the same draw, the entire tennis world stops everything just to watch. And here's the best part, the 2026 season is still young. The clay swing is heating up right now, and the French Open is just around the corner. Could these two collide again in Paris? After that comes grass court season at Wimbledon. Imagine another final on those famous lawns. The power game translates perfectly to every surface. Their contrasting styles guarantee fireworks no matter where they play. Right now, the momentum sits with Sabalenka after her straight sets win in Miami. She's won 10 of their 17 games against each other. But Rybakina has proved she can flip the script in the biggest moments. The Ice Queen has won more finals. She leads 4-2 in their championship matches. Two athletes at the absolute peak of the game. Two different approaches. The same burning desire to be the best. And in 2026, they've already given us 3 unforgettable games. The next one could come any week now. So keep your eyes on the draw, because when Sabalenka and Rybakina step onto the court, one thing is for sure, you're about to watch something special. Like and subscribe to the channel for the best of women's sports.